Hello everyone, welcome to another video of channel DoopTube. Today I'll be doing a video where I talk about the biggest unanswered questions from Avengers Infinity War. But before we get started, I just want to give away a big spoiler alert. If you're not up to date with the MCU, or if you just haven't seen Infinity War, or just if you don't want to know anything about what might or might not happen in the next few MCU movies, because I'm gonna talk about that, just stop watching right now because I don't want to ruin it for you. First question that was very unclear for some people was, what is Doctor Strange's plan exactly? Because at the beginning of Infinity War, Strange said that he will give up any life to keep the Time Stone safe. However, almost by the end of the movie, he gave up the Time Stone to Thanos to save Tony Stark's life. So Thanos has the Time Stone, and eventually Thanos has all the Time Stones, and the Avengers lost half of their team. However, when Doctor Strange vanished, he said, "Tony, it was the only way." So that means that this was part of his plan. They have to keep Tony safe for this plan. If Tony doesn't survive, the plan doesn't work. Because by the beginning of Infinity War, just when the Guardians and Tony, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man has met up again, they think of a plan to defeat Thanos, but Doctor Strange is thinking about all the possible outcomes they win, and there was only one that worked, and in that one possible future that can make them win, they need Tony Stark to win the fight against Thanos. So Tony Stark is gonna be a very important person in Avengers 4. Next question is, what exactly happened on Xandor? As we know from Guardians of the Galaxy, Xandor is the planet where we met the Nova Corps, and they helped the Guardians take out Ronan and the Accuser and Nebula and all those other weird space aliens in Guardians of the Galaxy. However, by the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, the Nova Corps said that they will take care of the Power Stone. However, at the beginning of Avengers Infinity War, we see that Thanos immediately has the Power Stone in his gauntlet already, leaving us with one big unanswered question: what happened on Xandor? Did all the Nova Corps people die, or did some survive, or what exactly happened there? There was a deleted scene that showed the destruction of Xandor, so that we could see who didn't survive and who did. However, that scene was cut from the film, simply because it would make the movie too long, and they thought that it would be good enough to just give away that Xandor was destroyed without giving away who survived or who didn't. But it really pisses us off because we don't know if ever Nova will come to the screen, and if he did, then some of the Nova Corps members have to be alive. And I think this guy, I don't remember his name because he's very forgettable. I thought it was something with Stain, but I don't know. It was a very forgettable character, so I don't even care anymore. If he survived the attack on Xandor, then he will go back to Earth and go to Richard Rider and make him the Nova. Because Nova is definitely coming to the MCU. However, it pisses off that we don't know what happened to the Nova Corps. Hopefully we'll find out in Avengers 4. The next question is, why won't the Hulk come out? At the beginning of Avengers Infinity War, Hulk fight against Thanos and loses in a big way. Then Hulk is led to the ground and sent to Earth by Heimdall. He meets up with Doctor Strange, Wong, and Tony Stark. However, when eventually Emily Ma comes around, he can't turn into the Hulk anymore for some reason. And he tries it a lot through the movie, but the Hulk won't come out. Even so, getting to the point that he can't be the Hulk, and in the last battle he has to wear the Hulk Buster suit instead of just being the Hulk, for Christ's sake. It really pisses us off a little because, first of all, we don't know why the Hulk is coming out. Second of all, in the trailers we definitely saw the Hulk, but he wasn't in the movie. Not really at all, only at the beginning. However, there's some obvious reasons why the Hulk won't come out. One of the most obvious ones is probably because he got very scared and embarrassed, and that he doesn't want to help people anymore because he thinks he can't do anything anymore because he lost his strength, kind of. So it could be that, or it could be that he is mad at Earth and that he thinks that Earth hates him and that he doesn't want to save Earth because it hates him. It is very unclear what's gonna happen to Hulk. However, it has been confirmed that the Hulk will come back, and it will even be very possible that we can get a combination of the Hulk and Bruce Banner, and that will turn into Smart Hulk. So that's the Hulk and Bruce Banner in one body confined. So the Hulk is definitely coming back. Now let's just find out why he won't come out. Now, one of the biggest questions that people really pissed off is this one. Where were Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and the Wasp? Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and the Wasp were all very important characters. And they were cast for the movie. However, they didn't appear for some reason. I mean, we got one mentioning that they got deals with the families. They don't have to work for the Avengers anymore, so their fans will be safe. However, I don't think that's the end for them. I think they're gonna come back. And I know that this question will be answered in Ant-Man and the Wasp, which will be released in only a few days from now. However, it still pisses me off that we don't know where these people are. I mean, it has been confirmed that Ant-Man and the Hawkeye will return for Avengers 4. So Ant-Man is coming back too. However, we don't know about the Wasp. It is very possible that the Wasp is actually later also turned to dust. Because Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. So it will start a few months or a year after Civil War and will end right at the end of Infinity War. So that means that by the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, some of Scott's best friends may just turn to dust, and the Wasp may be one of them. We don't know. However, I'm very excited to find out what exactly happened to these people, but we're probably gonna find out in Ant-Man and the Wasp. The next question is, where were Valkyrie, Quack, and Meek? Valkyrie, Quack, and Meek were three fan-favorite characters we met in Thor Ragnarok. By the end of Thor Ragnarok, they were on a ship where Thor, Loki, and Heimdall were too, heading to Earth. However, they eventually come around the big ship of Thanos. But then by the beginning of Infinity War, the ship is almost destroyed and Thanos takes over everything, kills Heimdall and Loki. However, during this event, Valkyrie, Quack, and Meek are nowhere to be found. We don't know exactly where they are. I mean, they're probably run away into an escape pod and then went right directly to Earth, so they probably will come back for Avengers 4. However, we don't see these guys running away from a fight. That would just be very weird. I mean, they could be killed off screen. Marvel won't do something lame as killing these characters off screen, especially when they have such a big fan base. So I think they're still alive, only that they ran for some reason. What that reason will be, we'll probably find out in Avengers 4. Then there's one question that's probably not that big and probably is already confirmed, we don't know exactly, but it is, what exactly happened to the Collector? Is he still alive or is he not? We don't know. Because right in the middle of Infinity War, I think, we see Thanos talking to the Collector, asking for the Reality Stone. However, eventually it turns out this was all some big imagining, and that the Collector wasn't there at all, and that Thanos already had the Reality Stone. So, did he kill the Collector? Did he not? We don't know. Then is one of the biggest unanswered questions that we're probably gonna find out in Avengers 4, or maybe in a new Captain America movie that is in the works, and that is, what is up with the Red Skull? This was one of the biggest reviews and unexpected moments in Infinity War. Some people expected the Red Skull to come back eventually, but we didn't think he would return that soon. Because by the end of Captain America, the first Avenger, the Red Skull doesn't die, but he gets crushed into space by the Tesseract. So people thought he was trapped in the Tesseract, or that he was teleported to some other place. And as it turns out, the Red Skull was eventually stuck on Namor and became the keeper of the Soul Stone. He was there to guard him and give it to someone that gave up a life for the stone. Eventually Thanos gave up Gamora's life to get the stone. But then when he gave up Gamora's life, the Red Skull disappeared, and Thanos was in this weird world, got the stone, and then went to get the Time Stone, I think. However, we don't know exactly what happened to the Red Skull after that. Is he now dead because Thanos snapped his fingers and now he turned into dust? Is he still alive on Namor guarding nothing? Exactly, where is this guy? Also, one big question, why is he the keeper of the Soul Stone? I mean, I get that he's transported to Namor, but why is he the keeper? What the hell happened here? Then, what happened to all the off-screen characters? And these are of course the characters we didn't see in the scene where everyone turned into dust. That includes, first of all, the characters that were in Infinity War but didn't appear in the scene where everyone turned into dust. That started off with Shuri, Juan, Pepper Potts, with General Ross, finally Ned. However, then there's one big question. What happened to all the MCU characters that didn't appear in the movie? What happened to Happy? What happened to MJ? What happened to the long time not seeing Sif? What happened to Jane Foster? What happened to this weird bitch we saw in Incredible Hulk? What was her name again? Betty Rose? I'm not sure. What happened to Yvette Rose? What happened to all these characters? What the hell? Then one of the biggest questions that is definitely gonna be answered in Avengers 4 is, of course, which diseased characters will return and which won't. Now let's start off with the first character that died in Infinity War. That was Heimdall. Well, do we think Heimdall is gonna come back? I don't think he is. I think his story is pretty much done. The next is Loki, and yeah, some people think he faked his death and is somewhere in Earth now because he wants to get away from it all, but I don't think that's the case because that would be very dumb and just not great. And how did he get killed again? Well, he got choked by Thanos because he wanted to stab Thanos, and it was very disappointing because this was a very dumb move from Loki. I mean, such a wise, good, smart wizard like Loki wouldn't just stab Thanos randomly and expect to kill him. That's just dumb. That's very dumb. However, Loki is not coming back, especially after the line that Thanos said, "No resurrections." His story is done in a very disappointing way. Next is Gamora, and she got killed by Thanos because Thanos had to sacrifice the thing he loves the most to get the Soul Stone. And that was Gamora. So he sacrificed her to get the Soul Stone. And he killed her in a very disappointing way too. She got killed by a fall from a mountain. A badass lady as Gamora gets killed by falling from a mountain. That's just really disappointing. I don't know why they did that. However, Gamora is definitely coming back because there's a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in the works. And every character from the Guardians is set to return. Except for maybe Nebula. Then next is Vision. His death was pretty messed up. First of all, he got killed by Scarlet Witch because she had no choice. And then Thanos brought him back to life with the Time Stone and ripped the Soul Stone right off his head. Vision died 2 times. 2 times, for Christ's sake. And I don't think he's coming back from that because, first of all, I don't see a future from the MCU with Thanos because he's a very boring character, in my opinion. And I don't know. It just won't seem like a very good idea for me to bring him back. Then we get to all the characters dirt in the dust. The first character that got killed by the snap of Thanos' fingers was Bucky. And Bucky just got turned into the White Wolf and is now a fighting free man. And I don't think his story is done, because his contract is still on. So I think that Bucky is definitely gonna come back. The next character that got killed was Mantis. And Mantis is a very powerful character and also just got here, so she's definitely coming back. Drax, he is confirmed to be in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so that means he is coming back. Next up is Peter Quill's Star-Lord, and yeah, of course he is coming back because there's not happening a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 without the leader of the team. That's just weird. Then next is T'Challa, the Black Panther, the new king of Wakanda. And of course he's coming back because there is a Black Panther 2 in the making. And because he just became the king of Wakanda, he is not gonna stay dead. Next up is Wanda Maximoff / Scarlet Witch. And this is a tough one, because she is a very interesting character. And it's difficult to see a future for her. She's not getting her own movie anytime soon, and she may turn out to be in a movie where all female Avengers will appear, but I have mixed thoughts about her, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. The next up is Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and of course he's coming back because there's still a Spider-Man 2 in the making, and Peter, of course, is gonna be in that, so he is definitely coming back from that. So that scene that made us all cry, where he died in Tony's arms, was actually very pointless. Then next is Doctor Strange, and of course he is coming back because there is just being a Doctor Strange 2 confirmed. Then next is Teenage Groot, and he is definitely coming back. First of all, because Groots can't die, they can come back to life again. And second of all, there is a Guardians Volume 3 coming, and all the characters from the Guardians Volume 2 will return, except for maybe Nebula. So yeah, Groot is definitely coming back. Then next is Sam Wilson / the Falcon, and this is also a tough one because I don't really see a future for him after Avengers 4. Turn into the new Captain America, which happened in the comics, but we don't know for sure. So I'm just gonna leave it with that I don't know exactly whether or not he will come back. Then next is Maria Hill. She was killed in the after credit scene by the snap of Thanos, turned into dust. So I'm not sure whether or not she's coming back. I actually don't think she is, because I don't see a future for her. Then lastly is Nick Fury, and yeah, he is definitely coming back. He is confirmed to be in Avengers 4, so yeah, he is coming back from the dust. So we have made it to the end of my video. Thank you for watching. Tell me in the comments below what other answers of the unanswered questions I just talked about in Infinity War. Tell me if I missed any of them. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.